aguentarem. E
Ok.
so, good morning, people from YouTube. It's just another immersion. I'm here. I'm Victoria. I am a student. I'm a whole student, so I'm not a teacher. I'm not here to teach anyone. Platform is a platform for conversation, so it's a safe place. You can commit mistakes, and it's everything okay. So today we're gonna talk about real or reference. So, Julia, can you read and answer the first question?
Yes. What does you are a reference implies about someone? So, I think now my big reference for me is my friend, who has a name Lucas. He is one person who doing many things about studying. She has a lot of projects, and for this reason, I really like it to as a friend of her because I really love it when people like to do many things and they study a lot of things they didn't know about many areas. And I think this is great because he is young like me and he doing many things about your life, and I think this is amazing because I want to do that. And the sometimes it's difficult because we need to do a lot of things in the same times, and the I think this is difficult, but can be real if you're trying. For this reason, I think Lucas is my big reference, but I have other friends who I really love and they admire. But I think Lucas in now is my biggie, but I have other, so that's it. Can I uh
Choose the
and
next one, the next question.
I will talk with Victoria. Victoria, can you uh answer this question?
Okay. Oh my God. There's a play about someone. I don't know. I don't really know. Like, I believe it's dependent the person, dependent the situation. Like, for me, reference is like studies, like a big nurse or something like that. But in another case, my mom is my reference. So I believe it's depend on the type, not type, it's point of view. So when people can be a reference for many ways for me. Like my son is my reference sometimes. I was over here. So I don't know. Like I don't really know. It depends on the situation, I believe. So what about you, Marcelo?
For me too, I'm agree. Depends of of a area. No, for example, for music, I have a lot of uh, um a lot of people are reference for me. Marcus Miller, Jaco Pastorius, Francis Rocopressia são are reference musicians reference for me. In my career, have other people, other Daniel Furtado, Natalie, one UX designer, American UX designer, John Maeda, for example. Depends of our area. For example, in my family, I have my father, my mom, my wife. Um, depends for me. Spiritual, for example, Christ, for example, is a big, the best reference. Então, depends.
So you can read and answer the next one.
The next question. Sorry. Yes. Okay. In what situation? Uh, Might someone be called a reference professionally? Okay. For me, one reference mm, indicates the way in one area. Uh, One reference of design, for example, have a lot of conhecimento. I don't know in English. Tem muito conhecimento da área, né? Fundamentals conhecimentos. I don't know. Uh, this is for me is this is a reference and indicate a way or tendency of design or of area, you know, professionally. And you, Victoria?
Oh, guys, I don't know. I believe like I don't care about like PhD or something like that because sometimes people can't afford it, So people are so intelligent, so smart, but can't afford it, and the people don't have this name. So I believe for me a reference is someone who gives not their life, but give a lot of time for it. Like something like as I said before, Florence. Florence for me is amazing. Oh my gosh, she did a lot of things that so in my area, like it's perfect. Like, but I don't know. Like for me, the people who loves what the people do. So if you love what you do, you're doing the right way. You're doing your best. So for me, that's the reference. It's like, okay, if I do my best and that everybody can see it, it doesn't matter the name. So is it? So what about you, Julia?
So in my case, I consider people reference depend of the areas and depend of the people, because I think all people can be one reference, and all people doing amazing things in different ways. But I think we looking for the goals of people and what people doing in your life. For example, um, I want to study international relations in my college, and now for me, people who as references, people who has many things in this area. For example, other language, goes to other country, work a lot, finish the graduation, doing undergraduation, think about it. This is one example for me, but I know sometimes it's difficult with doing many things because the people live in different realities. In Brazil, we has different realities. Sometimes you have uh, ways to do that, but you can because sometimes we don't have money for study a lot of things, and I think uh, this can be not so good. But I think a reference now for me is people who study a lot and doing many things. But I have other reference. For example, my mom, my dad. This is a reference for me. For because I want to be a person like my dad, my parents when I grew up, and I think this can be amazing. I think a reference is not just about how people want, but how people is. And for this reason, I think all people can be a reference in one part of your life. So that is my answer.
I agree. Like I believe there's a lot of points of view, but I totally agree. So I read the next one. So how does being a reference affect one's credibility? I believe, I don't know, but I believe when someone talks to someone like, oh my God, these people are the reference, like, like you are a reference. People just believe it's like, I don't know, like I say to myself, Julia is a reference on Talk and Talk. Is the best student ever. I believe like, oh my God, it's a host telling me that, so I will believe in it, it's like, and just sharing this information and sharing, the people believe a lot, So I don't know, maybe if someone's telling me like someone is the reference, like it, I don't know, maybe I don't know if there's a way to talk about it, like Maria vai fazer outras, So I believe there is a lot of things like that when you talk to someone and another person just, and sometimes not the truth, Not that Julia isn't a good student, but like the situation. So sometimes it isn't like true. Sometimes just the point of view of someone. So I don't know. I believe that increase. I believe it's increased the credibility a lot of the people, even if it's true. It's my opinion. So, what about you, Marcelo?
Yes, yes, I agree. Have a one warning in this situation because have a some problems, no? Because the reference depend of point of view, um, depend of opinion of people, depend of position of person. For example, some people are a reference but don't have this position or don't have this um, destaque, né? A pessoa às vezes não tem o destaque que ou um reconhecimento, né? a, a respeito disso. Uh, this is some problems. Have another problem because some people is not a reference, but think ele pensa que é. Have a one problem for ego, no? Some areas have this problem. Artists area have a lot of this problem in musicians and singers have a big problem uh, for ego, and another professionals too. I think have this problem the ego. Um, one people uh, this subject is problematic for me, in my opinion. Is I'm have a very difficult em me reconhecer como referência em algo e às vezes também reconhecer outros também, porque existe uma linha tênue entre bom profissional, reconhecer e é uma questão de politicagem e ego. É, I need to think about this. I need to think better about this, but in my opinion, have some problems. This case, no. And you, Julia, what's your opinion?
So I think these answers can be said because how I said in my last answer, I think every people can be a one reference, but sometimes you have more credibility if you have more reference in your lives. And I think when the people has like more reference, the others are looking when how these people can be better of the others, and sometimes the people is not the better, just having more reference, and this don't needing nothing to be real, because sometimes as people who is more smart of you, has more credibility, but don't have a lot of reference. For example, sometimes we work in some place who people who has the best position stay in this position not because it's more smart or dedicated of others, but because has good reference to stay in this position. Sometimes the people who don't is in the same position has more credibility, and the but don't have a reference. And I think it's difficult this answer for this reason, because sometimes a reference don't needing nothing, and the sometimes people who has a lot of reference is not the best people. It's just the people who has more thinking life, more uh, luck in our lives. And the I think for this reason, her friends don't mean nothing. I think we need to looking for how these people is, and the not what these people have. For example, and these people are dedicating, and they don't have mm, any reference to these people. Sometimes it's best who people who have a lot of reference but is not dedicated. For example.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So I agree. So Marcelo, can you read them into the next one?
Okay. How can one become a reference in their expertise area? Uh, Dedicate, love you do, and dedicate and learning. Constance is a good way for this. No, um, uh, for me, one reference have various abilities. No, uh, in your area and another areas. For example, um, have other areas with emotional control or mental health. It's very important for this, and have one ability for pra Então tem uma habilidade também para lidar com as expectativas. I don't know in English, mas precisa entender como lidar com as expectativas internas da, da própria pessoa, né? Que ele está se especializando, ele está sendo referência em algo, e a expectativa da other people, da outras pessoas, né? Acho que isso é bem difícil. And you, Vitória?
So I agree. Oh my God, how can one become a reference? Be the better one, like it's not be the better one of like my area, not be the better worst ever. Like be your better one, like your better version. So if you put a lot of um knowledge on yourself, if you're like always trying to become a better and better in your area, I believe it's enough because you're caring enough and you're trying to be your best version in this area. So I believe it's like knowledge. If you have more and more knowledge, it's the thing, knowledge for everything in your area, like in emotional intelligence for geology, things around you in this area. Like knowledge for everything, I believe it's the key. So knowledge. So what about you, Julia?
So to be real, I think we can be a good reference if depending what you want. For example, if you wanna be like a good reference in your college, I think we need to study a lot of things, paying attention in class, and the has a good contact with your professions. And I think if you want to be a good reference in your work, you need to study how your profession need of you. For example, if you want to study international relations, sometimes you need to think about uh, learning a lot of language. For example, is good if you want international people has, for example, four language to talk, and sometimes if you have this, it's better to you be a good reference. And then I think the most important things is study your area and what you want, and what credibility you want to be, and what the reference you want in your life. For example, if you wanna be a good reference in your work, what do you need to do for has this? And I think it is important.
Yeah. So Julia, as you was the last one, can you read an answer? But don't have to be the next one. You can choose a question, like one question that you like, and read an answer. It, please.
Okay, we'll choose the question number 9 because I like this question. How can big begin a reference benefits one career or business? So I see one thing about like today if you has Instagram and you has many followings of people in your Instagram, and you doing for example videos, and the post a lot of things, and they have people who like you. Sometimes it's better for your career because we live in one digital world, and this sometimes these things is great for your image. And the I think it benefits because if you have a good reference and you doing many things, I think it is this these things start to be more easy to you, because if you like, for example, wanna start a new job and you don't have a reference, it's more difficult to starting doing new things. But if you don't have reference, is more difficult, because if you have the people start has more credibility about your work. Sometimes the people don't meet you, but if you have a good reference, the people start has more confidence about you and your work. And I think the benefit of reference is this: the things start to be more easier for your life. So, how about you, Victoria? How you think about this question?
Okay. I believe benefits. I believe like grow. Like oh my god, I'm saying all my questions in one word. Okay. So, but I believe it's the word for this question is girl. Like if you're just being a reference, I believe you grow. Like the benefit it's from growing. Like you can grow in your area, you can grow, like personally. So And I can't imagine one bad thing about growing. Like, I believe there is a lot of things, but now I can't. So if you're growing, you can just achieve more things, like you can be more. So I believe like in a workplace, in a career, if you're growing, you can see, I don't know how to say it, but notado, você pode ser notado for other people. So people that are, so maybe you can grow in this area more and more. You can show more what you have to show to the people, and people will listen to you. So, I believe the benefit is someone be knowing that you are there. And, you know, so growing, like if you're growing, everything will see you. And I believe it's a good, if you're growing in a good way, I believe it's a good. So what about you, Marcelo?
Yes, yes, I agree. 100%. It's very, very important. Now have other reality, no? Now have this digital world in LinkedIn, in Instagram, in YouTube, and it's very, very have a lot of value in this a good position for your career. For example, I'm use LinkedIn for me, and I'm have a one. I'm pay attention in my posts, or I'm pay attention in um, my profile. No, have a it is my profile is complete. I have a lot of information from my experience. Everything is very important because uh, now the LinkedIn is my channel for contact another companies, another people. Uh, I'm I make a networking in LinkedIn. It's very important, and sometimes have a one problem. One company need one company have a one problem, a specific problem, and this company need one a specific a specialist for this problem, no, and one good position, um, uh, uh, for example, I am a reference in one problem, one result is good. I'm É bom quando eu me mostro, porque as pessoas vão me descobrir, né? Ah, eu tenho esse problema, então o Marcelo é o profissional especialista nisso, ele é referência nisso para esse problema. E aí a gente consegue fazer dar o match, né? Isso é good, very, very important.
Perfect. Uh, if you want to, you can put your LinkedIn here. It's not a problem in the chat. So, can you read and answer one question? Just as Julia did, you can choose one question. It doesn't have to be the next one. Just one and read and answer. It's you, Marcelo.
I'm reading a new question.
Yeah, it's a new
Okay.
one. Don't have to be like the number 10. You can choose one and that's it.
But I'm like the 10. What is the role of mentorship in become a reference? For me, it's very, very important, a mentorship, because I'm learning about one area for other people. One people more experience have more experience for me. It's better. It's the best way for learning, um, the best form. No, uh, aprender com alguém que já fez ou que já tem experiência me encurta muito o meu caminho. Então, isso é uma coisa que eu gosto e eu acho super legal. Conversar com outras pessoas que tiveram os mesmos problemas, que passaram pelas mesmas situações para poder encurtar meu caminho, né? Porque o tolo ele aprende errando e o sábio ele aprende com quem já errou, né? Is this? And you, Victoria?
Like, I don't know if I understand this question well. Like, the mentorship is the person who is teaching or that is learning. I don't know. I
Ok.
believe it's the people who is learning. So I don't know. Like, I believe like if I'm just learning, I'm in that position. I really love to be the person who, oh my God, the person who is learning or who is teaching me has a lot of things that to teach me. I have to, like if I'm here, I really want to spend my time with the right thing, just not, oh my God, I'm sitting, like wasting my time. So if I have something that knows a lot, that really is a reference, but is a reference being a real reference, like knowing, for me, it's better. Like, maybe I will be like the other person, like the person who is teaching me. So it's perfect. And that's the only one person. And I will searching for more and more person and more knowledge. Maybe I'll be better than this person. Not, it's not a competition, but like knowledge is always amazing. So for me, like being more and more and more, so for me, it's amazing. I believe it's a really important, so, um, and people like the world have to be more intelligent. I believe everybody should be more intelligent always. Even if you're really, really intelligent, if you're a nerd, for me you have to be more intelligent because intelligence is always like a good thing. So yeah. So what about you, Julia?
So when I think about mentorship, I think about course to be a good reference. For example, if you wanna for example has a great job, I think it has platform who are learning like about this specific topic, and I think sometimes has good courses you can doing to become a good reference in what you want. But I think it's important you talking with people who stay in the same way you want to stay in the future. For example, if you wanna be a good reference in one specific areas, I think you we need to uh, has contact with the people who stay in the way when you want. I think this is good, but mentorship programs is great too to understand the how you want it and you why you need to do. So that's it.
A good one. So I believe there are more questions. I believe we just some questions right. We didn't answer all the questions. So
80. 80 is different, no? Are there downsides to begin seen as an reference?
okay, I believe it's a good one. So I believe so. There is a lot of downsides of being a reference because if you're a reference, I believe everybody will ask you all the time, even if you're with your family, even if you're, like not asking, but you're in a free time and people are calling you or people are you bothering you. Not that it isn't cool helping people, but I believe that it's about time. It's not all the time you have a personal life. So I believe that one, and maybe I don't know, people put a lot of expectation on you, and sometimes you don't know. It's normal. Nobody knows everything. And oh my God, like me, oh my God, Victoria knows about everything. So ask her for her. And I don't know, like I I could be a reference for something, but it doesn't mean like I know everything so much. I'm trying to be everything, but I can't, So I believe sometimes it's a lot of responsibility,
Yeah.
and you know. So what do you think, Marcelo?
Yes, for me too. This is one problem, responsibility, and have other expectative. Some people uh, put the expectative in you, and um, okay, one people is a reference, but is a woman. No, have a bad days, have problems, have uh is not uh a hero, it's perfect hero. Oh, it's a good problem for me. Yes, that's it.
What about you, Julia? Julia,
Wait, what's question?
number 8.
Number 8. Oh, okay. So I think I really like this question because sometimes if you is a person who has a great reference in your life has ways if this is not so good because I think you has we has more pressure in yourself when you has a good reference and you will stay big in your area because sometimes if you stay in beginning the people don't put in a lot of pressure in yourself but I think when we start grow in your area the pressure is more big and the we you need to stay in your position because the people can just uh is is stealing this of you and this is not great. You need to stay in your in same position and the depression is more big and I think this is not so great.
Yeah, I believe so. So people, I just written everybody because I want to everybody answer this question. Like I didn't spend a lot of time with you guys who was in the other room, so I know like everybody here talks a lot, and I didn't hear you. So I believe we have a little bit time. It's not a long time, but I believe it's time enough to everybody answer it. So Tamiris, can you answer the number 8?
Ok. Tá vendo no chat. Desvantagens, né? Okay. I think downsides is a very pression, the person who is, and um,
Yeah, I think it's cool because nobody said about depression before. So we talk about other things. I think
yeah.
that was cool. So what about you, Juliana?
Number 8. Right? I
Yeah.
think it is expectative. I don't know, say expectation. I don't know. I think the people the expectation and about the person. I think it is those.
Yeah. I agree with you. So what about you, Luke?
Yeah, I think the fear to failure and the pressure, it's so hard, and because you need to think that a lot of people depend on you, so it could be a bad thing if you don't have a good mind.
But I agree with you guys. I believe always there is a downside. Yes, downside. I believe always there is a downside. It's not perfect, you know. So, guys, I believe we have more 5 minutes. So I believe it's time to say goodbye for YouTube. So people from YouTube, thank you for being here. It's just another motion, and this is